You listen to podcasts and believe the last 7 years, and here you are. Explain that to me.
What do you say to people that are offended by your podcast telling them to buy Bitcoin or have fun staying poor?
Well, it's true. I won't deny it.
There's homeless people in the streets. Why would anyone ever believe in a money you can't print to help them? Why would anyone believe in sound money?
Because if you fix the money, you fix the world. Bitcoin fixes this. Why do you hate Bitcoin?
I'm sorry, I don't understand what just happened.
Bitcoin's not dead, it's surely alive. The number will go up, it's only a matter of time. Bitcoin's not dead, it's fixing the world.
Lights out on the hour. It is the hour of the time. Lights out for the curfew of the body, soul, and mind. This is Richard Greaser, and you're listening to the Paznia Radio Network.
The world around us may be crashing down. It's hard not to be consumed with doubt. But I'm okay, cause you're here with me now.
Yeah. The person on the TV screens for more war, arguing that only dropping bombs can settle the score. More printing and surveillance, we've been here before, but the pain is so intense that it can't be ignored. Getting priced out of the things to bring you purpose. A generation aimlessly wandering, feeling worthless. The masses are angry, arguing who to steal from, but I'm just here trying to experience freedom. Being a slave to no one is what I dream of, but the slaves around me want me to be them. There are days it feels like I'm all alone, consumed by the isolation of being unknown. I'm glad you're with me cause I need it. Hopelessness is alive, but you can't be alone to defeat it.
The world around us may be crashing down. It's hard not to be consumed with doubt. But I'm okay cause you're here with me now. I've been searching all around, praying to be found. But I'm not alone because you're here with me now. With me now.
There's a weight I drop from caring what people think. Why consider the opinions of the people bringing us to the brink? I just want to work hard, but they keep getting in my way, leeching off my labor because they have debts to pay. When sanity and honesty are discouraged and condemned, society lacks a moral compass. Truth is like dust in the wind. The temptation for despair grows like a raging storm. There is an anger in my chest for trying to make me conform. They tell me that I'm sick for trusting my gut and having conviction, while they spin their tales of insidious fiction. They think my body and mind is their jurisdiction, yet the pictures they paint are riddled with obvious contradictions. The whole system is rotten from top to bottom. I will fight to the death before self-respect is forgotten.
The world around us may be crashing down. It's hard not to be consumed with doubt. But I'm okay cause you're here with me now. I've been searching all around, praying to be found. But I'm not alone because you're here with me now. With me now.
The truth matters because lies have consequences. You can't get to where you want if you accept their pretenses. Democracy is about using bad information to form consensus. Learning what's real, you must learn to trust your senses. It hurts to see how the world works, but hurts hurts more to ignore it. Running up debts, but future generations can't afford it. Having a future worth living in lies to the few that can see. We rely on those who are willing to die in order to be free. Many choose to sacrifice their lives to protect the status quo, dying for their rulers who sit in safety on their throne. Despite all the chaos, we found each other somehow. Hope is not lost because you're here with me now. The evil is overwhelming, but finding beauty is an art. Darkness is the absence of light. Lighting a fire is the start. Yeah.
The world around us may be crashing down. It's hard not to be consumed with doubt. But I'm okay 'cause you're here with me now. I've been searching all around, praying to be found. But I'm not alone because you're here with me
Folks, welcome back to another edition of Music Mondays on the Paznia Radio Network. My name is Richard Greaser, and I will be your host tonight. And it is good to be back for the stream. I just spent a week in Las Vegas, and it was exhausting. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, but at the same time, it was exhausting. It's just it's one of the most fiat cities in the United States. I wouldn't say it's like number one, but you're on the strip and it's pretty rough. I mean, it's just it is structured to wear you down. It's where a lot of human psychological experiments are done on just like manipulating behavior, and I don't care how high your guard is when you go into it. It will wear you out. It will wear you down. They are good at what they're doing. Fortunately, I didn't get into too much trouble. I had a pretty good time. But talk a little bit about Las Vegas on the stream and my observations. But like I said, this is Music Mondays. This is a stream that happens. Rayo's been doing a great job. He has been trying to build out Paznia Radio Network, and that includes a ton of content that is fun to watch. There's other individuals that stream on here, like Rayo, Dane Riddle. Some people do music, and there's a lot of discussions around self-liberation, and so that's the theme of my show. It's the theme of the music that I create and write. It's about the process of freeing yourself. It's walking around the world with a working brain, being free and being able to connect with other people is one of the most exhilarating and exciting feelings in the world, because if you're like me, and I think this is for most people, it's something that you have to reclaim and you have to fight for, and you have to fight for consistently. It's not just like a one-time thing where you experience a semblance of personal freedom in your life. It is an ongoing battle that you have to trudge, and there are all these forces around you trying to break you down and just push you into negativity, push you into self-destruction, push you into servitude to other people. And it's all unnatural, and there's some pretty serious negative repercussions, if you allow those forces to have a massive influence over you and ultimately to win. And that's why I came to the conclusion that freedom is actually, worth fighting for, is because of the consequences of not being free, the consequences of being subservient to others, to following the directions of the system. And that is why I am a big fan of what Rayo's doing. So if you want to check it out, there's different channels that you can follow. Paznia, they're on Odyssey, they're on Rumble. There's an RSS feed where these episodes are published later. I encourage you to go check it out, but you can also support what Rayo's doing, which I think is important, by going over to libertyunderattack.com, where you can buy non-KYC and other goodies. Non-KYC books. Sorry, I apologize. I'm tired, so I might miss some words, but I will try to stay awake and concentrate through this. But yeah, libertyunderattack.com is actually how I found Rayo. Because years ago I was looking for a book, and he actually produced the audiobook. And I'm going through the book again for some paid subscriber content. I've been mulling through this episode in my head of, having the mindset of a winner. And I think this is a good discussion, because there are many people in the freedom movement or the Bitcoin ecosystem that have the attitudes of losers. There's a lot of losers, a lot of people with loser mentalities. And I think it's important to have a discussion of what it means to actually be a winner, because it's not always modeled well to people. And it's not always explained. And oftentimes, I think some of the most helpful things to do for people is to really, just break it down, very basic ideas and concepts, because, unless you understand the basics of something, if you hit it from first principles, it'll be hard to build off of. Like, if you don't grasp the basics, you're going to have issues in other areas. So that's something I've been thinking about and hoping to work on this week, and putting a lot of time into it. But I'm going to take the observations I had at the conference. And, one of the first things that I noticed is every time I looked at Twitter, somebody was crashing out. And I got a chuckle out of it, and I know, just by interacting with a few people, that were involved with the conference, like it gets under their skin. Like they're putting a ton of effort trying to make this a good event. You got, just grumpy plebs crashing out on Twitter. And, not everybody deals well with criticism or feedback, or just wears on them. Like, I really enjoy it. Like, if you want to criticize me, or you want to criticize the Bugle, like, fire away. I get a kick out of it. You can reach me at the Bitcoin Bugle at protonmail.com. Send me a nice angry letter, or go publicize it on Twitter. Go complain about how we're not funny, or we're not smart, or whatever it is. I just ask, with the criticism, if you criticize what we're doing, just put some thought into it, because like to get better, and like, if you're just like, they suck, they're not me. There's not a lot I can take away from that. You know what I mean? Other than just, getting a good chuckle and then wanting to dunk on you. Like, if you do that, I might just teabag you and point out that you probably don't have a Bitcoin podcast and probably don't smoke cigarettes, and therefore your opinion isn't really valid. But if you put some thought into it, I'll appreciate it. And but yeah, anyway, so I was looking at Twitter and watching everybody crash out, and I was just kind of cracking up, because it's interesting to watch people go and attack the most culturally relevant thing happening in the like the subculture that they're interacting in. And to me, if I find it really, counterproductive, where there's a lot of productive things going on at the conference, and it all, in their minds, it's all invalid because of one thing or the other, that happens. Like, purity test has failed here, purity test has failed there. And I like to criticize the conference at times and make fun of it. I call it the PodConf Super Bowl. It's a spectacle. It's a pleb slop panacea, and there's a lot of silliness in it. I mean, it's pretty ironic when you have individuals like Cash Patel speaking at it. And there's multiple thoughts. Like, I spent some time hanging out with Lynn Ulbricht while I was out there, and she's a big fan of schmoozing politicians, and she's had some success. Like, her goal has been to get her son out of prison. She's successful, and she wants to dramatically change the way the system works, and she's been effective at that strategy. So she has that perspective. I have the perspective of I don't really like these guys or want to engage with them at all, because I think their authority is illegitimate, and I reject their authority. And but I'll tell you, if I'm in a situation like Ross was, I'd want a mother like him. And there's all sorts of other things that about the conference that don't really align with my values, but at the same time, there's a lot of individuals there that do align with my values, and very consistently every year. Like, for example, one thing that doesn't align with my values is being in Las Vegas. Like, I just besides being able to smoke cigarettes in the casino, like everything else is dramatically against what I care about. But when you go and you attack the most culturally relevant thing that's happening, and you don't really have anything else to stand in its place, because one of the reasons why it's important to attack things at times is just to have a reframing the conversation. But if you're just a predicts pleb, you think you have a valid opinion because you're a full-time podcast listener, and you don't really contribute anything to the world outside of have an opinion that is most likely misinformed by pleb slop, you're not really contributing anything by just going, rah, you suck. In the Bitcoin ecosystem, a lot of people learned a lot of really unproductive things through the years by waging this war against shitcoiners. Which there's a lot of nuance to. I mean, it's just there's been this huge effort to have this outrage against something without actually really contributing things. And a lot of people got big followings because they figured out that people would support them and like them and think that they were smart if all they had to do was say shitcoin's bad, Bitcoin is good, and then repeat pleb slop talking points, and they didn't really have anything of substance. And so there was a lot of bad training of social dynamics in the Bitcoin ecosystem. And you talk to a lot of Bitcoin people, and they're emotionally retarded. It's not just that they don't understand Bitcoin, but they're just socially retarded because they have not learned how to operate and actually connect and relate to people. And I think part of it is just like through the online interaction, but part of it is just not been modeled well to them. And so I kind of want to talk a little bit about that. I wrote that song With Me Now because there's a lot of discussion around subverting the state and subverting authority But I think one of the ultimate ways to subvert the state and to subvert authority is the real human connection. By being present in people's lives, by listening to them, by hearing them, by helping them to feel seen. Because so much of the energy that is put into beating people down and making them submissive is by disconnecting them from each other. So, like, I mean, you looked at like the COVID pandemic. What do? They locked everything down and try to separate people as much as possible, so that they couldn't get together and talk. And you know, it elicited this like extreme fear response in them, and so this is why so many people got vaccinated. This is why so many people just became so incredibly retarded, is because they were isolated. And it's very difficult, if not near impossible, to stand alone in those situations and stand up to authority. You know, I'm an extreme individualist. I believe in the individual, in the importance of the individual, but I also believe in cooperation in the market. And an individual is only as strong as how many hugs that they get. We talked a lot about the importance of hugs. And I think hugs are significantly more subversive than going out there and issuing purity tests, especially if you're building up the people that you're aligned with. And so, I mean, I wrote that song With Me Now because when you have people in your life that see you and know you and support you, you can become a superhuman. But when you are isolated and disconnected from other people, you turn into a very weak individual. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I got on that. Well, let's get back to the music, folks. These next three songs are from the Heroes album. When I come back, I will talk about where the Heroes EDM album I'm working on is at, and in Belgrade, Serbia.
You heard the call to be something more, and try to ignore it, but the sound was a roar. To instrument facing all of your fears, to leave what was safe, embark on the frontier. You try to resist, but there was no going back. Your very existence had come under attack. Self-respect required you to grow, to leave everything behind that you had known. The journey will be long, but you will find you are strong. Dig deep inside, take what's coming and strive. The world needs heroes to do what must be done. So answer the call, because the brave don't run. Stand your ground, fight for what's true. Choose what's hard in pursuit of virtue. It may seem like all hope is gone, but you're still here, so the fight isn't done. So the fight isn't done yet. You can't unsee what is before your eyes. To go back to before would be your soul's you will find you are strong. Dig deep inside. The bold don't hide. The world needs heroes to do what must be done. So answer the call because the brave don't run. Stand your ground, fight for what's true. Choose what's hard in pursuit of virtue. It may seem like a hope is gone, but you're still here, so the fight isn't done. So the fight isn't done. The battle for your heart may bring you close to breaking, but if you keep fighting, victory will be yours for the taking. When times are hard, it's a call to become your best. If you are true to yourself, pride will beat in your chest. The journey will be long, but you will find you are strong. Dig deep inside. The strong don't run or hide. The world needs heroes to do what must be done. So answer the call because the brave don't run. Stand your ground, fight for what's true. Choose what's hard in pursuit of virtue. It may seem like a hope is gone, but you're still here, so the fight isn't done. So the fight isn't done. Getting pushed to the edge, I know you feel despair. But if you want to change the world, you'll have to choose to dare. Go to places that aren't safe and face the darkness that's within. Learn what it means to become comfortable in your skin. Everything may be falling apart, but for you this is a fresh start. Pick up the pieces to build something new. Learn what you have the capacity to do. I know times are tough, but don't give in. It's not over until you win. It's your time, so fight like hell. Keep moving forward, give them a story to tell. Your body needs to move, so dance. Your body needs to feel, so dance. Your heart needs to open, so dance. Move your body. When you were young, you Your body needs to move, so dance. Your body needs to feel, so dance. Your heart needs to open, so dance. Move your body. I know times are tough, but don't give in. It's not over until you win. It's your time, so fight like hell. Keep moving forward, give them a story to tell. I know times are tough, but don't give in. It's not over until you win. It's your time, so fight like hell. Keep moving forward, give them a story to tell. For so long, I thought I was alone, that I would have to run away. Then I found you in the dark. Now you're here, I'm going to stay. I learned to hide behind a mask. That way I could never be betrayed. When I discovered that trust could be earned, the armor just melted away. You can see the world just like me. Hey, hey. Now you're here, I'm gonna stay. Now I know I can say. I thought I would always feel unsafe, trapped inside of a maze. Now instead of fear, I feel loved. Together we'll get through the darkest days. I thought I was better off alone, but I just had a broken heart. My imagination was too small. You helped give me a fresh start. You can see the world just like me. Hey, hey. Now you're here, I'm gonna stay. Now I know I can stay. You can see the world just like me. Hey, hey. Now you're here, I'm gonna stay. Now you're here, I'm gonna stay. Now you're here, I'm gonna For so long, I thought I was alone, that I would have to run away. Then I found you in the dark. Now you're here, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay. Now you're here, I'm going to
So, kind of following up some thoughts about the conference. I feel like I don't always finish my thoughts when I'm doing these solo streams, because sometimes my brain goes a lot faster than my mouth. But talking about influence, like, there's a lot of people crashing out on Twitter about the conference and the samurai guys and Cash Patel being there and other government officials being there. And when you're on the ground, it's very different experience than when you're looking at commentary on Twitter. And I'm not trying to convince anybody to go. Like, I think there's reasons to go and there's reasons not to. Compelling on both sides. I'm not trying to market it. But I do want to point out its cultural relevance in the ecosystem. And if you care about Bitcoin and you care about the cultural ecosystem, is important to take note of it. But people are running around everywhere with Free Samurai pins on. People had Free Samurai shirts on. I got to hang out with one of the Ronin Dojo developers. And I always enjoy seeing him and talking to him. I don't get to see him around a ton. But you can go there and this might be like one of the few times that you get in front of individuals and represent your idea to the decision makers. I'm not like a huge fan of civil disobedience or whatever, like really lobbying these guys. because I think their power is illegitimate. But just from like a cultural standpoint, it's kind of important. It's like one of the most important things, to be walking around an event like that and exerting your influence in one way or another. Because if you care about an idea, this is where a lot of discussions that are noteworthy are happening. This is where individuals of influence, people call it the influence conference. I mean, that, if anything, that should just be a endorsement of the importance. The influencers showing up, they're the people that have influence in a lot of ways. And so, the crash outs are just funny. It's funny to me. And it's just like, once again, I think these individuals are, they're siloing themselves in a place where their voice isn't going to be heard in the future. Like it was heard in the past, and they're just going to continue to crash out more and more as their opinions and perspectives continue to grow less relevant. But yeah, anyway, so I'm working on this, this Heroes album, and it's an EDM album, and I was really inspired. I went to a music festival last summer and had a great time and became really interested in electronic music. So I did a album following that called, or maybe it was leading into it. I don't remember the timelines of things sometimes, but I did an EDM album last year called Doomsday's DJ, and that was fun, and I learned a lot. And I think the Heroes album is going to be a lot better. And I really like, trying to write music and write songs as an album. You hear all these, people complain all the time, and they say music's supposed to be listened to as an album. And to some degree, I agree with that. I do appreciate, I don't think very many people do, but I do appreciate listening to an album and having a cohesive storyline behind it is something that I really enjoy. And so, the Heroes album in many ways is inspired by different aspects of the hero's journey, and it's not done yet. I've got, I think like 8 songs or so. I don't know how long I'm going to go. I'm going to go until it feels done, but I want like a good bunch of songs on it, for a set list for me to DJ. Part of the reason why I'm doing this is because I was asked to DJ my music at a festival in Serbia, in Belgrade over the summer. And so, if you're in Europe, or, you want to travel to Europe and you want to go to an awesome music festival, there's going to be some great people performing there. Some of my favorite artists, Stardust is going to be headlining it. It's the end of June. Stardust is going to be headlining it, which I'm very, very excited. One of the things I really had a blast doing over the last week was hanging out with Noah Grumman, who is their lead singer. I got to spend almost the whole week with her and Lahav, and I got to see her perform she performs a song that I wrote, and that was very cool. The one I did in collaboration with her, and she played 40 Hours Per Week by Rod Palmer, and that was very cool. And I also got to see like a goofy cover of My Immortal called My Hodl that Lahav wrote, and that was cool. And at the Noster event, which was in my opinion, the best side event that happened in Vegas last week, put on by Open Mic and the Tootster group, she performed a couple originals with backtracks, and that was cool. And I can't wait to see the whole band together. They're truly incredible musicians, and I really appreciate their music for it, because they, one of the reasons why Noah Grumman, I would consider her one of my heroes in a lot of ways, is because she just has she's like a real musician. and she's a classically trained pianist, and it's fascinating interacting with her in and around music because she's got perfect pitch. Like you sing a note, she can tell immediately if it's flat or sharp, and and then hit a piano key to like correct you. Um, the amount of like skill, like it's like in her head is a metronome essentially. So she is so deep into this craft, and one of the things that I learned, which is really cool, recently, is Stardust has produced all of their music. They've recorded and produced all of their music. They have not done what most musicians do and go into a studio and have somebody do it for them. And it's just, I don't know. There's like so many things that I like about them. I like the genre. Not everybody likes metal music, but I really like metal music a lot. And but one of the things I really like about them too is from time to time I've been pushing them because I want to see more live music. I really wish that they would release recorded versions of all of their live music, because that, in my opinion, is when you really see the skill level and talent of a musician, is when they perform it live. And it is, in my opinion, I like their live stuff more than their recorded stuff. And I feel this way about a lot of musicians. Some musicians, I really prefer their recorded stuff because they're not always the best performers. And so, example of this is Miranda Lambert, where I really like her recorded stuff, and I really dislike seeing her perform live because she is an incredible songwriter, but I don't think she is the best performer. But yeah, Stardust, I'm excited to see them in Belgrade. Joe Martin, who I have seen live before, is going to be performing there, and he is a fun musician. Roger 9000, I believe the Higher Low. I'm probably missing. I think there's more people on the set list, and so apologize if I missed anybody. But it's once again, this is going to be something that I believe is important culturally, and I'm excited about. Open mic's going to be there. Avi Burr is going to be there. And based on what I saw at the Noster event, which was the first Las Vegas, like music event that I've been to, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be well produced. It's going to be a real good time. And I am excited, but I've been working on this album for it, and I've been distracted, by Las Vegas and all the prep work for that, as well as some other projects, and I'm ready to dial in now and get prepared. That's the next big thing on my horizon that I am excited about. And so I'm going to get back to writing. And I'm not really sure how the album is going to end. I am floating through a song idea in my head right now. Like my writing process with songs, kind of differs from time to time. Sometimes it just like strikes me like a lightning bolt, and then sometimes I'll be thinking and mulling over it, for a long time before it really like comes to fruition. And then sometimes I just like we'll get halfway through a song and then I'll just scrap it. I've scrapped a lot of songs through the years of doing this, and it's fine. I mean, it's just it's a fun process with a lot of trial and error, and a lot of exploration. But at the end of the day, what's important for me, with songwriting and with music, is to feel inspired. And one of the ways I feel inspired is ultimately through having interactions with people. I like to use people as muses in my life. You know, and a muse is kind of, you know, just somebody that you I think there's, you know, there's more to the story. Like a muse was I believe from like ancient Greece or something. It was like this mythical character. But I'm going to start sounding like real dumb if I try to explain it. Maybe next time I'll research the topic a little bit more and you know, talk about, you know, what an actual muse is. But, you know, anyways, in most of my songs I look to people and I'm inspired by them. And that last one that I played was called Gonna Stay. And it wasn't about any specific person, or, you know, I guess it could have been about this one person I met, you know, in my, when I was a teenager, that was a mentor for me. But there's something so like life-giving. You know, people talk about going to these events and liking and hanging out with Bitcoin people. And, you know, part of the reason why I think they like it so much is because it is very validating to who you are as a person when you run around with people that, one, speak the same language as you, and two, have the same values as you. Because most of the time you're walking through life and you're hanging out with a bunch of NPCs that haven't listened to 45 talks on what the Cantillon effect is. And, you know, they haven't read any Murray Rothbard, and they just come from like a completely different perspective and language in a way that it's hard to relate, because it's like you're living in two entirely different realities. And so when you hang out with people that are in the same reality as you, it feels invigorating, it feels exciting, it feels validating. And that's what I was trying to capture in that song. But got two more. We're going to switch gears a little bit, get back into like the more country folk style. This is Curse Twist Sight, followed by I'd Love to Change the World.
I don't know why the Lord cursed me with the ability to see a world trapped in darkness, thinking that it's free. People walk by with blank expressions like they're in a dream, but I can't join them 'cause I've seen things I can't unsee. I beg the Lord to take away the weight on my soul. I begged him to give me peace and let me feel like I'm in control. But no matter what I do, I can't shake the image from my head. The only path I can walk is to face the fight ahead. I wandered through the desert till I found out who I am. I learned everything I once believed was a vicious scam. The journey taught me to listen and to let go of regret. Now I'm in paradise, chain smoking cigarettes. The future looks bleak, but I cannot accept defeat. Getting backed into a corner with nowhere to retreat. The spiders spin their webs in order to trap those who resist. Yet I choose to walk forward into their midst. When I finally die, I know I will have lived well, with a clean conscience that I refuse to sell. The rules of the game are grotesque and insane, but if I do nothing, I would be the one to blame. I can't pretend to know how this story ends, but I don't have to walk alone because I'm with friends. The journey is a hard one, but is the only one I know. The opportunities before me are ones that I won't forgo. I don't know why the Lord cursed me with the ability to see a world trapped in darkness, thinking that it's free. People walk by with blank stares like they're in a dream, but I can't join them 'cause I've seen things I can't unsee.
Bombs are raining, times are changing, masses raging. What is reality? Cars are burning, it's the fourth turning, people hurting. What is the malady? I'd love to change the world, but it doesn't want to change. I cannot speak for you. You're not a pawn to be arranged. While it's all burning, some are learning, they're rebuilding, salvaging what is left. Some are reading, constantly seeking, always achieving, rejecting mediocrity. I'd love to change the world, but it doesn't want to change. I cannot speak for you. You're not a pawn to be arranged. Yeah. Pioneers exploring while the rulers are warring. No day boring, fighting to try and be free. Cigarette smoking, it hurts just knowing the window's closing. Cyberpunk still has his dream. I'd love to change the world, but things are looking strange. I can only speak for me and choose to try to change.
I don't know if I had a plan of what I would talk about for this, but I did notice that on Nostr there's some people in the live chat, and I kind of was hoping that it'd get piped through to Zamped stream, but the doodads apparently don't talk to each other. I think Zamped stream comments pipe over to Primal, but we had Shanrak on there, zapped me a couple times. Soap Miner said, I went back to my nightclub days in my 20s. Well, get ready, because I'm all about it. You know, I kind of experienced clubs for the first time recently, and like I kind of have a love-hate relationship with it because there's like some pretty low vibe behaviors happen at clubs. I'm just not like a huge fan of like being around environments where people drink, to be honest. Because people just get sloppy, and I don't like to be around people that are sloppy. You know what I mean? It's like you have to deal with that in the Bitcoin ecosystem. You know, you go on Twitter and it's just like, oh fuck, I just saw a hodl not tweet again. More slop. Shanrak is glazing me, says this shit the best. Creaser's a mad genius. Live in a wisp. He said, okay, so apparently Shanrak's seen the comments in Zapstream. Oh, there we go. Sometimes you just have to hit the refresh button and then it works. I don't know. Well, I think I've proved I'm not a mad genius. I don't know. It's just you can kind of like do a lot of things if you just figure out some basic concepts in life, and you have some self-respect, and you read Atlas Shrugged and you listen to Bitcoin podcasts, and you just kind of like choose to be brave instead of twiddling your dick in your hands and looking around at everybody else. But I don't think that's like genius. I think it's just I don't know. I mean, like a big thing that I think is important is just not really giving a shit about what most people think. I think it's a waste of time, and because most people don't do anything interesting, and you try and hang out with individuals that seem to have their heads screwed on tight or straight, and you'll be fine. Oh, Shatterak said Glaze will have to do in the absence of a hug. Well, I appreciate it, Shatterak. Yeah, no, it's important to glaze your friends. And like this is the thing I think is missing in a lot of ways is I think it's important to show appreciation for people. And one of the ways I like to show appreciation for people, because it's like I think it's kind of lame to and I feel massive appreciation from Shatterak. Like I really appreciate all the support that I've gotten from him over the years. Because when you're an individual and you're out there trying to create something creative, I think it's important to actually show that you're engaged and interested in what those people are doing. And for me, being a supporter of Stardust, for example, I think it's important for me to genuinely listen to their music and like to know it really well, and understand the dynamics of it, and and just like a compliment of like, oh, I really like that is one thing, and then going into the specifics of what I liked is a whole nother thing, because it shows engagement. And something I try to do when I'm engaging with artists is really point out the specifics of what I like. And I think that's important. I think it's really, really important, because like it's if there's anything that I've done that's cool, a big part of it is because I've had people in my corner, and like I can't tell you. So one of the reasons why I like have a deep admiration and appreciation for Noah Grumman, I guess I'll just keep on glazing her. It's easy to glaze her, but I can't tell you how cool it is to witness her perform a song that I've written. I got to see her do it twice. Like world-renowned artist, and there's other people that have done this with the Bugle that I've really appreciated. Like Adam Sameka posted a video of him singing and playing the 40 hours per week song that Rod did. Noah sang that song last year at BTC Film Fest in Warsaw. Posted a video, sent it to us. I really appreciated that. Shadrach has learned and played different songs, and we've jammed together, written, and it's stuff like that that I find extremely encouraging. And I see the culture war, or whatever, the battle for influence, the battle for inspiring people, influencing hearts and minds. One of the ways that you win it is by encouraging the people that you think are really good, and it's not just glazing them on Twitter and like being a simp in their comments, but it's like going and being deeply engaged uh, with the stuff that they're doing, with the content that they're doing, with them as individuals, because at the end of the day, um, everybody's just like an individual. They have insecurities, they have whatever. Um, and except for me, I'm the John Galt of journalism. I kind of ascend, like the average Bitcoin influencer. Like there's Peter McCormick. He needs a lot of glaze because like he gets a little bit wound up, when people twist his knobs on Twitter and they get grumpy in the comments. But he just not everybody smokes as many cigarettes as me, so they can't tolerate the crash outs as much. But I live for the crash outs. Like, please crash out. Please send me an email at thebitcoinbugle@protonmail.com and put some thought into your crash out. Like, I love that shit. But anyways, no, like it's a battle of morale, and people need to be encouraged, and there's a lot of people, like there's a lot of small content creators out there that put a lot of time and effort into things, and they need feedback, which is part of the reason why when I'm listening to and engaging with the podcast ecosystem, it's generally people walking in the intellectual silk road. Like, what podcast did I listen to? I listened to Back on Chain with Fundamentals, and those guys, Jason and Fundamentals. I had an absolute blast hanging out with them. I met Jason for the first time in person. And so if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, these goofballs have created a podcast talking about Bitcoin and the band Fish. And I've never really been a big fan of Fish, and but I have like a appreciation for them. And I have appreciation for them because I've listened to their podcast, and these guys, like, they're just like infatuated with Fish. Like, they love Fish. Kind of like I love Lynn Alden. And but through their appreciation of it, I've really grown to appreciate it, and I got to experience a Fish show in Vegas for the first time, and I think it was like one of the best Fish shows that you could experience because apparently, so one thing that's really cool about Fish is every set is different. They never repeat a set. They've got a ton of songs. They cycle through a lot of their songs, like 160 some songs, and they don't repeat shows, and like I appreciate that a lot, and I want to aspire to be like that, throughout my musical career, because I think there's something important, to just novelty, and when like one of the reasons why I really dislike stand-up comedy is it's like these guys are doing things on repeat. They repeat the jokes, over and over and over again, and just kind of bums me out. But because it's like you can't go and watch a comedian in the bits that they play online before you go and see them perform, because you'll hear the same jokes over and they'll kind of lose the magic. If they deliver the joke in the exact same way and the audience reacts in the same way, it just doesn't feel as like organic, because like part of like the stand-up comedy and making it feel real is it feels like organic, like they're engaging with the crowd, and it's the way the crowd engages with them, and it kind of loses the magic. And I think a lot of high level music is like that. It's very like repetitive, and there's nothing wrong with playing the same songs over. I think it's just like, when you get super super highly produced and you just kind of repeat um the same stuff over and you see it, to me it loses its magic. It loses the spontaneity, and it's not necessarily bad, but it's something that I think Fish fans understand and appreciate very very deeply. um and I've got to experience this now because these guys have just been yammering on about Fish for a while, and it's in my opinion way more interesting than anything Jeff Booth has had to say for like the last year and a half, 2 years. um and it was really truly a special experience to go hang out with them at this concert, and kind of have this like vision fulfilled in a lot of ways. And like, me going to the concert and hanging out with them and listening to their show, is part of me being engaged with them as podcasters, and artists. And I think there's lots of ways that you can do that with individuals. And it's like you want to have influence in the world, and you want the world to look more the way you want it to look. Like, it takes doing this type of stuff. It takes supporting what you like instead of just seeking to what you dislike and tear it down. And like the liberty movement, I think, has issues with this because they're so hyper focused on talking about the sins of the state, because they're gonna run around trying to convince a bunch of NPCs like that the state is illegitimate and whatever. And while to some degree that's productive, I mean, you just look at like Larkin Rose. Like, who at this point likes watching Larkin Rose's videos? It's like he just come out. Like, I appreciate his book, the most dangerous superstition, and it was pretty influential on me in my life, and I think it's a good one. But like, this guy has made a career out of just being grumpy, essentially. And I do think he has a role in a place, but if the entire liberty movement has kind of been like that almost entirely, and there's other things that need to be a part of something like that in order to be compelling. And give Larkin some credit. Like, he made a pretty good movie called The Jones Plantation, which was pretty creative. But like, I think there need it's important for things to be inspiring, and on the other side, for people to set examples. And you kind of compare a guy like Larkin Rose to a guy like Francis Pulio. Francis is running around having a good time, setting up these communities and promoting freedom, as being something more than just being grumpy and complaining about the state. Sometimes he gets grumpy and complains about the state, as do we all. But it's just, I think Francis is a great example. And look what he's built with Bull Bitcoin. And you kind of compare something like Bull Bitcoin to Swan Bitcoin, and the very different approaches that they've taken. Like, Swan is a pleb slop company, and and pleb slop eventually burns people. And I'm not trying to shill. I'm just trying to give examples. Because I think examples are productive. And anyways, I don't know. I'm kind of getting off the rails. But I appreciate Shadrach, and I got 3 more songs. We're kind of coming to the backstretch of the stream here, folks. Got Villains, followed up by The Way Back Home, followed up by The World Is My Ashtray.
They are the villains that rule the world, but they are losing their control. You have to fight in order to survive. You have to fight to feel alive. There's a coldness in their eyes. They enjoy their victims' cries. Darkness fills their souls. They dominate to control. They are the villains who rule the world, slaughtering the ones in their way, threatened by those who disobey. They'll burn it to the ground in order to wear a crown. They are the villains who rule the world. Expensive, violent real estate, where they determine the world's fate. Acts so dark it hurts to know, hiding in the shadows. They are the villains who rule the world. You are caught in their game. They try to extinguish your flame. Trapped in a nightmare you can't escape. I know that your heart aches. That rule the world, but they are losing their control. You have to fight in order to survive. You have to fight to feel alive.
Felt like I was safe. It calls me when I'm in the abyss, but I can't remember where it is. There was a feeling of peace, a time when I was complete, wanting to go back to those days. Why can't I just find my way? I'm just trying to find my way back. just trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back, back home. I'm just trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back home. Toiling each day to survive, just wanting to feel alive. Seeing glimpses time to time is what pushes me to climb. Running to what I once knew, hoping to rediscover my way through. Maybe I will find you when I get there. Can't wait to breathe that clean air. I'm just trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back, back home. I'm just trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back home. I'm getting tired of being lost, unsure if I can bear the cost. But I've gotta find the way, hoping one day I'll feel okay. Doubting if I'm getting closer, stuck on a roller coaster. But I still have my memories of that feeling of being free. I'm just trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back, I'm just trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back. I'm just trying to find my way back. calls me when I'm in the abyss, but I can't remember where it is. There was a feeling of peace, a time when I was complete, wanting to go back to those days. One day I will find my way.
I can't hear myself. Crazy. Turn it up a bit. Yeah. Hold up. Hold up for a minute, sir. Yeah. Hold up for a minute, sir. Let me grope your dick. You're free because of my threat to beat you with a stick. Aren't you glad that we're here to keep you safe? Wait just 1 second, don't use that brain. Sir, you must get back in line. No, you can't smoke cigarettes or have a spine. You were born to follow my master's rules. Didn't you listen to what they taught in school? Compliance defines my ass. I'm not listening to your fucking trash. Now you're just wasting my time and you're saying I'm the one committing a crime. You think you can burn it all to the ground, plundering and thinking I'll just bow down. Well, I'm here now to fix shit, and I'm not asking for a permit.
Look at me, what do you see? Living life in infamy, can't you see? Winning is my destiny.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray. What is clear you fail to see is I won't ever lose my steam. You aren't going to crush my dreams.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
My ashtray.
I read Atlas Shrugged too many times to be stopped by your devious designs. Dropping credentials and dropping truth, eviscerating, slop, investigating like a sleuth. You can fight, but I got home field advantage, and my wife thinks I've got brain damage. Outlaw smoking, but the system robs you blind. Safety is more important than using your mind. Fool me once, you can't fool me again. At least Toby Keith said he liked freedom. They're dropping bombs, I'm dropping bars, acting like they're worshiping Mars. You can feel the shift in the wind, the tides are turning their control thin. The revolution is being podcasters, and it's clear they already lost it.
Look at me, what do you see? Living life in infamy, can't you see? Winning is my destiny.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray. What is clear you fail to see is I won't ever lose my steam. You aren't going to crush my dreams.
The world is my ashtray.
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 I remember before, all you knew my name. Flying under the radar, watching you be lame. Hiding in the shadows, hearing you slide. Oh, thinking you were at the top. 40 hours per weekend, smoking cigs. Grinding harder while y'all feel slop the pigs. You didn't even know the game you were playing. Didn't understand the words you were saying. When I popped up on the scene, you tried to get me on your team, telling me how the news made you sad. thinking I cared that you were mad, resting on your credentials like it was a bench, while a fire burned that I couldn't quench. Now we're watching it all burn down, and you've been exposed as clowns.
Look at me, what do you see? Living life in infamy. Can't you see? Winning is my destiny.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray.
The world is my ashtray. What is clear you fail to see is I won't ever lose my steam. You ain't gonna crush my dreams.
The world is my ashtray.
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 World is my ashtray. Got a boost from Vake's 21,000 cents. Appreciate you, Vake. Vake's been a great supporter of the Bugle, and I actually got to spend some time with him in Vegas. Not as much as I would have liked to, but Vake, it was great seeing you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a fun rest of your time at the Pleb Slop Panaceum. I was, I popped over to, the Rumble chat or whatever, and, saw a grumpy guy on there, saying something about like Monero being the real Bitcoin. I like the Monero guys. They're fun. I haven't heard much from the Monero guys in a while. But I proudly say, when I'm getting made fun of, or I don't know, I don't really get made fun of it. When people are talking shit to me, about the Bugle or whatever, and I'm talking about like the silliness of maximalism or whatever. I like to proudly proclaim that I'm a shitcoiner because I've got $30 of Monero, and I have not looked at that wallet because the funny thing about Monero, right, is, I wouldn't call myself very knowledgeable on how it works. And, some people like to argue with Monero people about the technicals of Monero. Oh, it might have an inflation bug or, whatever. No, you can't on it, I don't like to do that. I just like, it's like arguing whether like what's a better place to buy food, Costco or the farmer's market. I just, I like to go to the farmer's market sometimes. I was at a farmer's market this weekend. I had a great time. And I don't know. I just think it's I think Monero's cute, and I think you guys are cute. But I'm not going to dog on anybody that's using Monero because I just don't care. I think it's like it can be really productive. I think one of the dangers of Monero is people kind of get themselves into risky positions that they don't fully understand, and whatever. But yeah, I mean, people do the same thing with Bitcoin. Like if you, for example, bought a bunch of Bitcoin on Swan Bitcoin, whichever podcaster was saying you should do for a while, and you withdrew at a certain time period, you might have gotten sued by Prime Trust trying to claw back funds, which is kind of crazy. So there's all sorts of risks that people assume that they don't understand. So I'd just be careful out there. But yeah, if you wanna zap me a Monero, whatever, xmrchat.com/bugle. You can send me shitcoins there, and I'll send my shitcoins to Rhea because I like to give Rhea my shitcoins because he likes Monero. But anyways, thank you, Vake, for that boost, and we got Augie in the chat saying go dig, go dig, go dig. Looking forward to seeing you at Lake Satoshi, Augie. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I ran out of things to talk about. Oh wow, Hash Power Music is in the chat. I had a great time hanging out with Hash Power at I'm gonna have him on the music show. I gotta DM him. But might require getting on the Noster DMs or something. And I don't like Noster DMs, but yeah, I kind of ran out of things to say. I'm tired, folks. I mean, it's just like, a lot of things that I said I said or wanted to say. I said on the podcast. I guess one thing to wrap up the show, that's worthy of talking about is today is a special holiday. It is May the 4th, and folks, May the 4th be with you. I hope Hash Power is going to be at Lake Satoshi. Thank you for the boost. Dude, Lake Satoshi is shaping up to be a great event. Consider going. It's going to be a good time. But it's May the 4th, which is Star Wars Day. And I always hate May the 4th. And the reason why is because I like Star Wars, but there's like all this pressure, like, which Star Wars do you watch? Because there's so many of them. And I don't always want to watch all of them. I think probably after this would be a good time to go through the prequels, because it's been a long time since I watched the prequels. But one of the reasons I really like Star Wars is because how expansive the universe is and like how developed it is. There's infinite possibilities, and like a lot of people got really excited when Disney bought it, because it's like, okay, somebody's finally going to really take advantage of these infinite possibilities. And then they retconned a lot of really cool stuff, and and then they did the sequel movies, and everybody knows about how that went. But I don't know. They seem like they kind of got the message that people are pissed, and that they had like they were tanking one of the most valuable pieces of IP ever created. And now what's even crazier, which might be the reason that they're actually changing the tone of because I have to say, Andor, the TV show, was like one of the best TV shows made in the last 10 years, just hands down, compared to everything else. Like, it was just so good, especially in the climate of where we find ourselves. I thought it was a really inspiring story. And it was really well done in the Star Wars universe, but I think it was also like well done that if you're not a Star Wars nerd, you can still appreciate it without any context. And, and part of the reason why is just, like always, the music was incredible. Star Wars has some of the best music consistently. John Williams, everything he touches is great. I don't know if he did the TV show, but they did a good job with the music. They did a good job with like the visuals. Like, it was very like visually pleasing to watch. And yeah, I don't know. It was great. And I think they put out a couple new episodes of Maul, which might be worth watching too. But yeah, the expansiveness of the universe, like, one of the things that really makes a good story, in my opinion, and I think songwriting is, the same way. I've been thinking about both, because, I like to think of songwriting as telling a story, but like, what makes a really good story is getting immersed into it. Like, you get so sucked into it, you forget where you are. Like, you're reading a book and you don't want to stop. That is the sign of a really great, compelling story. Like, you're watching a TV show or movie and you get sad when it's over. You get invested in the characters. And in order to do that, you have to hit themes that are relatable to the reader or the listener. And so that's part of the reason why I like Star Wars, is because when I was growing up, that's what I experienced, was that immersiveness. I mean, I used to read all these books when I was a kid. Like, they had all of these spin-offs, like talking about the Empire. I don't really remember them much, but the aftermath of the Empire, going before it. Like it's just there was this immersive universe that you could really get immersed in the larger story and the larger timeline, and I found that so compelling. So I think these moments like today, May the 4th, are awesome holidays to celebrate, because it is this, in many ways, it's the celebration of storytelling and the importance of storytelling in our culture, in our society, Star Wars being a big aspect of it. And part of the reason why I like Star Wars, I think too, is like the Empire is so relatable, because we live in the Empire, the American Empire. That's where we're at. Where yeah. I guess you could say Palpatine is like BB until Memorial Day, and then Palpatine has to be somebody else. But like Palpatine is Benjamin Netanyahu until White Goy Summer begins, and we got to figure out who Palpatine actually is. But yeah, I mean, it's really relatable. You know what I mean? Of a story of like this feeling of like standing up against this very coercive, oppressive force, which is the pedophilic ruling class. And I think regardless of where you stand and your political beliefs, like you can kind of tap into that feeling. Is relatable, because whether you like the systems that you're living in or not, you can kind of still feel the pressure from it. And that's why stories of heroism and resistance and fighting a villain, like underdogs, they're so inspiring to individuals, because they're very real. I think like almost everybody has felt that, unless you're growing up like Barron Trump or something, like the establishment's kids, but yeah, anyways, if you're still there, guys, let me know in the chat what Star Wars you're going to be watching, if you're watching one, and or troll me and talk about how like Star Trek's better or whatever. But I'll play a few more songs and then come back real quick and then send us out with the last one.
Someday we'll go down together, and they'll bury us side by side. They'll tell our story forever. Our legacy won't be denied. Our names written in history. They should have never messed with us. When we're together, there's electricity. They should have never broke our trust. I'll be your money if you'll be my Clyde. Outlaws at heart, running till we die. I'd rather spend one day with you standing tall than have a lifetime of safety feeling small. If you'll be my Clyde, I'll be by your side till the day we die. I'll be your bunny if you'll be my Clyde. we were born unable to obey. Our freedom has finally been found. In these awful times, we've been thrust into a war. They say we'll pay for our crimes, but I want to live a life we're dying for. I'll be your Bonnie if you'll be my Clyde. Outlaws at heart, running till we die. I'd rather spend one day with you standing tall than have a lifetime of safety feeling small. I'd rather spend one day with you standing tall than have a lifetime of safety feeling small. I'll be your Bonnie if you'll be my Clyde. I'll be by your side till the day we die. I'll be your Bonnie if you'll be my Clyde. Someday we'll go down together, and they'll bury us side by side. All eyes on me. Yeah. Basic bitches say they don't like me. I get looks when I walk in the room. I don't blame them, I'm on another level. When they see me, they know it's their doom. The men give me attention, I don't want it, but I can't help that. I'm hot. Leave the room in suspension, they all wait. Listening for when I will talk, they hate me, cause it ain't me. When they sleep, I'm in their dreams. I live in their heads, rent free. Bitch, everywhere I go, all eyes are on me, I'm a romancing. Frame mugging with pure unspoken riz. They crying, they cook, realizing they are all miss. Driving in my Wrangler, I left the doors at home. Better respect the queen. Plebs are kneeling before my throne. Got a deviated septum, but can tell you still smell like shit. Everyone is laughing cause it's time for you to quit. I roll deep with my hoes, we respectfully unhinged. The algo hates me, dominated by cringe. All eyes on me. Bitches gonna learn, driving through town, making their heads turn. Certified iconic behavior, don't touch, you'll get burned. I'm a money maker, don't have to try to earn. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. Main character energy playing to win. It's like cinema, I get under their skin. You can chase me, but you'll never catch up. Hey bartender, I need a refill. 3 fingers in the cup. I romanticize my own downfall, cause it's the only way they'll have a chance. They think the Lulu is the Salulu until I steal the attention when I dance. Bouncers say my face card is valid, asking if they can toss my salad. But the queen has a king, I know the news always stings. Glitching in public but keeping it sweet. Rolling deep with my hoes, looking all elite. I'll make the brains buffer, got heels on concrete. High maintenance, low tolerance, bitch take a seat. Manifesting nonsense, still landing on feet. Soft, launching drama like I'm shopping at a boutique. You're down catastrophic, but you still look sweet. I'm calling the sweeper to clean you off the street. All eyes on me. Bitches gonna learn, driving through town, making their
try to earn. Driving through town, making their heads turn. Said about iconic behavior. Don't touch, you'll get burned. I'm a money maker. Don't have to try to earn. All eyes on me. All eyes on me.
My doodad got a little bit messed up. I was not intending to play that song. I was intending to end on it, but either way, Crayley, folks, a legend. The future of brat rap, in my opinion, right there. Crayley. I don't know. I think she smokes Krayshawn. I find Krayshawn, to be very like juvenile and amateurish compared to Crayley. But anyway, so we got some more action in the chat. Hash Power Music says recent spin-off episodic stuff has been great, Mandalorian and all that. Yeah, we'll see if they figure it out. I mean, it's been fun. Not all of it's been great. Like the Book of Boba Fett was kind of, it was fun, but it was okay. Ahsoka was pretty good. Augie's too cool to watch Star Wars. He says, not watching Star Wars, trying to figure out how to create a brain for the Meshdadel. Well, good luck with that. I mean, I guess it's productive to do anything productive for the Meshdadel, but you don't have to be a party pooper. Half Power says, I read a ton of those Star Wars books as a child. Loved the Vader character. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, some of my favorite books are the books about the Sith. The books about Vader are okay. Like, Vader's a great character. I mean, this is part of the reason why I like the prequels, is because it's all about the story arc of Vader. And I think it was very well done. And, some people didn't like the prequels. They didn't like Jar Jar Binks or whatever. I thought Jar Jar is a great character. Reminds me a lot of Bitcoin plebs. Like, Jar Jar was a Bitcoin pleb, essentially. And, so when I see Jar Jar, I think of, the plebs that I've met throughout the years. The reverse hero archetype, yeah, Vader's a complicated character because, like, he ends, has some redemption story or semblance of redemption story, but yeah, I mean, very, very cool character for sure. Anyways, folks, thank you for tuning into the stream. We'll see if my doodad works properly, but I'm going to send us off with the song called Feel the Rage. And my doodad did not work properly. But here we go. Feel the Rage. Have a good night, folks. And make sure to go out and check out libertyunderattack.com and Paznia.com/radio.
Try so hard to play their way, follow the rules but couldn't stay, chained to a desk like a wage slave, punished no matter how hard I behave. I tried my best to be what they desired, but all it ever got me was feeling tired. on live. I had to open my eyes. I will no longer be caged. I just wanna feel the rain, 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 rain. I was never taught how to use my mind. All I ever learned was how to march in line. To never question what I was told. To hide in the crowd and never be bold. They tried their best to crush who I am. To get me to buy into their scam. But I was a defect in their system. And I won't settle for being a victim. It was all built on lies. I had to open my eyes. I will no longer be caged. I just wanna feel the rage. Now I just to rage. If you lose because you follow their rules and still keep working as their useful fool, who is really the one to blame? If everything stays the same, nothing good comes from feeding parasites. Crops don't grow only from electrolytes. It was all built on lies. I had to open my eyes. I will no longer be caged. I just wanna feel the rage. Now I just want to rage. Now I just wanna rage. It was all built on lies. I had to open my eyes. I will no longer be caged. I just wanna feel the rage. Now I just want